The United States has the largest economy in the world, but about 37.9 million Americans live in poverty. That's 11.5% of the population, and it only seems to be getting worse. Every year, the federal government pays out billions of dollars to families and individuals with little to no income. Just last year, the United States allocated $522 billion to financial security programs to help support the poor among us. Now, many people think these programs should be done away with and argue that they are heavily abused, and while it's true that there are a handful of people milking the system, these programs are definitely needed for some who truly are under financial hardships or have physical or mental disabilities. Included in the financial programs is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, which most people will remember as food stamps. But the name was changed back in 2008 in an effort to fight stigma. Trust me, most people would rather not apply for welfare. It's pretty embarrassing. In 2023, the program was used by approximately 42 million people, which cost just over $107 billion. Today, we're going to analyze which states in the U.S. are performing worse than their neighbors and using up more SNAP benefits per capita, and why. Once you hear the stats for our top spot, you might feel bad, but
it's all good, man.
Stay tuned to see how things might be improving for this state. Honorable mention. Before we get to our list, I thought I'd give an honorable mention to the great state of California. Many lists include California because they are given the biggest payout in SNAP funds every year. But they didn't make this list because even though they received $1 billion in January of 2024 alone, they also have the highest population of 39 million people, placing them 13th overall at only 13.69% of their population needing assistance. Number 10, Michigan. The ice fishing and water activities might be great in Michigan, but their long reliance on the auto industry, which has seen some major ups and downs to say the least, has done nothing but add to the employment woes in this state. Out of the 10 million folks that live here, only 58.7% are employed. For comparison, the state with the highest number of employed individuals is Nebraska. Believe it or not, it's at 68.1% of its population. Other factors that contribute to poverty include only 32.1% have attained higher education. The median household income is $66,986, which is $7,769 less than the national average. And the poverty rate for Michigan is 13.4%. The combination of these factors has resulted in 1.5 million people needing assistance, placing them 10th on our list. That's nearly 15% of the population needing help just to eat in the state of Michigan. Number 9, Pennsylvania. As one of the more important states in our American history, it's sad to see the level of welfare assistance they now experience in Pennsylvania. One of my all-time favorite places to visit in Philly included stopping by Independence Hall and seeing the Liberty Bell. Actually, now that I think about it, I've been there twice. If you take your kids or grandkids to one place for a good American history lesson, this should be it. And don't forget to grab a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. With a population of a little over 13 million people and a land area of 44,730 square miles, Pennsylvania is one of the most densely populated states in the U.S. 62.7% of the population is employed in the state, while 11.8% live in poverty. The median household income sits comfortably at $71,798. But regardless of these somewhat positive metrics, Pennsylvania still ranks among the states with the highest rates of SNAP recipients in the U.S. because of its sheer numbers. Almost 2 million people need assistance, which calculated to 15.31% of the population. To be fair, the most common reason people need assistance is due to caring for a loved one or a child. Number 8, Illinois. I lived near Chicago during my formative years, so part of me wants to deny that anything would ever be wrong with this state. I just remember playing Little League, enjoying Lake Michigan, and touching the Ivy Wall down at Wrigley Field during a summer event one year. But unfortunately, it's not all fun and games in the Prairie State. Illinois is home to more than 12.8 million people, but just under 38% of them have attained higher education. Even though 61.7% are employed, the median household income is $76,708, and the poverty rate is at 11.9%, the large population contributes to their participation in welfare. 1.9 million people participated in SNAP last year, which comes to 15.32% of the population having a hard time making ends meet. One of the key factors for economic hardship in Illinois is their $251 billion pension time bomb. Number 7, West Virginia. Every time I think about West Virginia, it kind of makes me sad. They are known for having a high percentage of counties in persistent poverty, making it very difficult for them to get out on top. One benefit is there's a lower cost of living than most states, and many have learned to survive and remain happy in spite of their dire economic situation. It is, however, one of the best places to see the Appalachian Mountains. West Virginia is home to about 1.8 million people, but only about 24.8% of them have a college education, and only 50.2% are employed. With a measly $54,329 median household income and a poverty rate at a whopping 17.9%, this state has 275,000 participants in SNAP, making them 7th, with 15.54% needing help to buy groceries every single month. Their biggest why for reliance on welfare is the state's heavy dependence on coal production, which continues to decline. Number 6. Massachusetts. Home to one of the most prestigious universities in the country, Massachusetts does have a high population of innovative and technically advanced minds. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT as we all know it, is ranked second in the nation of schools. Sure, they have Harvard too, but that school's gone downhill in morals and values since its establishment in 1636. They even claim that moral decline itself is an illusion.
What a piece of junk!
Of the 7 million people in Massachusetts, 44.5% of them have a bachelor's degree or higher, and they have a median household income of $88,484. With a poverty rate of only 9.4%, their reliance on SNAP is primarily due to the exploding housing and medical costs across the state, leaving many more families unable to afford basic needs. With just over 1 million people receiving SNAP benefits, Massachusetts comes in 6th, with 15.67% of its population needing assistance. Number 5. Nevada. Regardless of whether you think it's because of the people that live in the desert or all the homeless that walk around Vegas looking for a handout, Nevada is a state that has a high number of people reliant on government assistance. Sure, not having an income tax is helpful, but I'm guessing a few people spend more on slots than they should each month. The Silver State is home to 3.1 million people and has a median household income of $72,333. Even though 59.3% are employed, the poverty rate is at 12.5%, mostly families with children, and only 27% of the population has graduated from college. Because so many families don't earn enough to feed all their kids, they are reliant on SNAP. Just over 500,000 people required assistance last year, but with such a low population, that put them at 15.72% of their population. Number 4. Oklahoma. It's a sad day in Oklahoma when you can't afford your chicken fried steak and stuffed mushrooms. Located just north of Texas, this landlocked state is famous for being a major producer of natural gas, oil, and other agricultural products. With 4 million residents, it ranks 4th in the number of SNAP recipients in America due to some pretty abysmal numbers. The median household income in this state is $59,673, and only 57.8% of the population is employed. With only 28.5% of the state's population having graduated from college and a poverty rate of 15.7%, it's no wonder that almost 700,000 people rely on food assistance. That's 16.73% of the population. Whether it's the fact that the labor rate is so low or the destruction caused by so many devastating tornadoes that rip through the state each year, Oklahoma residents will continue to rely on aid for a long time. Number 3. Oregon. If you've ever been to Oregon, you know that it is a beautiful state with an amazing coastline and millions of acres of evergreen forests. This state in the Pacific Northwest is known worldwide for its wineries and vineyards. It's home to about 4.24 million people, of which 30% can say they've graduated from college. The median household income seems great at about $75,657, and the poverty rate in the state is right about 12.1%, but those who remain employed are right around 59.7%. Still, something seems off that nearly 17.67% of the people would rely on food aid. Well, not if you factor how much they are taxed to death. Sure, Oregon doesn't have sales tax, but they have somehow managed to be the 5th most taxed state in the U.S., making it very difficult for the 748,000 people who required SNAP assistance last year. Number 2. Louisiana. The southeastern state is situated along the Gulf of Mexico and is known for its food, festivals, and alligators. Yeah, Louisiana has the highest number of these beasts at approximately 2 million. If you visit, try to stay out of the water. Nearly 5 million people live in Louisiana, but out of its many residents, only 27.1% have a college degree, and only 55.7% are employed, and nearly 18.6% live in poverty. The median household income is only $53,115, adding to the poor economics of this state. The amount of residents receiving food stamps is also almost the same as the number of people living in poverty. As a result, 850,000 people need help with their food, making Louisiana one of the most heavily reliant on aid. Number 1. New Mexico. Topping the list with a wide margin is New Mexico. This desert state has approximately 2.1 million people, and nearly 20% of them participate in SNAP each year. Only 27.1% have a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median household income is only $51,945, and their poverty rate sits at 18.2%. With only 55% of the population employed, it's no wonder so many rely on handouts. But hey, there is a silver lining.
It's all good, man. Really? Come on, that's your name?
At least for approximately 1,400 New Mexicans. Vince Gilligan, the director of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, is coming back to film a new series. The untitled series was just announced on May 12th, and it will star Ray Seahorn, who played Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. When asked why Gilligan picked New Mexico, he said, "I keep returning to the land of enchantment for the beautifully cinematic landscape and to continue working with the best crew ever. They have been making me look good for 17 years now, and I figured, why fix it if it ain't broke?" Have you ever benefited from welfare? Let us know in the comments below. Check out this video on why nobody lives in these empty states. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.